ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। मंगलाचरण। वासुदेवेन्द्र योगेन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते। ओम। Anil ji, can you mute yourself? The Vastu Sangrah वाक्य साधन चतुष्ट संपन्न अधिकारिणाम मोक्ष साधन भूतम तत्व विवेक प्रकारम वक्ष्यामः. So we are studying Tattvabodha, and last time we had read what is Tattva Vivek. So and also who is eligible for the inquiry of Tattva Vivek. That was Sadhan Chatushta Sampan. So both we have done. Tattva Vivek is Atma Satyam Tad Anyat Sarvam Mithyeti. Now the style here of inquiry is, every time he makes a definition, it will be in terms of certain other words, certain other concepts. So now Tattva Vivek Kaha is Atma Satyam. Now we do not know what is Atma. Earlier we didn't know what is Tattva Vivek. Now we do not know what is Atma. So he explains what is Atma. And he says Atma Kaha. He says that which is other than the gross body, which is beyond the five sheaths, and which is a witness of the three states. Then what is it? It is Satchidanand Swarupa. It is of the nature of Satchit Anand. This then is Atma. So we have defined Atma. Hari Om Ira. Then what he has defined it in terms of Sthul, Sukshma and Karan Sharir. Sthul, Sukshma, Karan Sharir and Panchkosh and Avastha Traya Shakshi. So now he will take up one by one. So Sthul Sharir, Karan Sharir, and then Sthul Sharir, Sukshma Sharir, and then Karan Sharir. So verse 17 on page 38 in my book is the gross body, Sthul Shariram Kim. So whatever we did up to yesterday, any questions? Ira, any questions? Could you go through the audio? स्थूल शरीरम किम पंचीकृत पंच महाभूतई कृतम सत्कर्म जन्यम सुख दुख आदि भोगायतनम शरीरम अस्ति जायते वर्धते विप्रीणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यतीति षड्विकारवत् एतत् स्थूल शरीरम. So this is that which is made up of the five great elements. What are the five great elements? They are called Panch Mahabhut in Sanskrit, that have gone through the process of Panchikaran. Now in due course Bhagwan will explain what is Panchikaran. So you can note all these words, they will be explained. So the gross body is made from the five great elements by the process of Panchikaran. And it is born as a result of good actions of the past. Sat Karm Janyam. The counter, and what is it? It is the counter of experiences like joy and sorrow, Sukh, Dukha, Adi, Bhog, Ayatanam. Ayatanam is a abode, your house. It is the house of enjoying joys and sorrows. I am saying enjoying means experiencing joys and sorrows. The counter of experiences like joy and sorrow and so on, and subject to the six modifications, namely to exist, to be born, to grow, to mature, to decay, and to die. This is the gross body. Okay. So, if you remember, we said Atma Satyam. And what was Satya? Satya was always experienced and never changing. And what is this body? It has six modifications. It exists, it is born, it grows, it matures, it decays, and it dies. Right? So be alive and alert to all these things. Presently, our mind is focused on the gross plane, and so let us start the analysis with the gross body. Made up of the five great elements which have undergone the process of grossification. Panchikrit is grossification. The five great elements are space, air, fire, water, and earth. When they undergo a process of grossification, described later in the text, they form the five gross elements. A permutation and combination of these constitute the entire gross body. A permutation and combination of these constitute the entire gross world that we perceive. Our body too is part of this world and hence made up of the five gross elements. Any questions? Gross body, sthul sharir. We can perceive our own and other bodies with the five senses. So you can make a note that gross body is perceived by the five senses. Panch Jnanendriya, they are known as five organs of sense perception. Perception is done by these five senses. It is therefore called the gross body. So whatever you are perceiving is a gross body. It disintegrates with time and is therefore called Sharira. Sri Atmanatvat Shariram. That which gets destroyed is Shariram. At death, the body disintegrates to merge with the five elements from which it is formed. It is from the Panch Mahabhut. After death, it merges with the Panch Mahabhut. Death, therefore, causes the body to attain to the five elements Panchtam, Panchtattvam, Panchtvam Apuha, attaining the five elements. Actually, the body being part of the five elements is never separate from them. None of the five elements separately or together belong to us. Yet I regard this body, which is a combination of the five elements, to be me and things related to the body as mine. So, this is the crux of the problem called moh, which we were doing in Bhaj Govindam. What is moh? Either saying this is me or mine. Whereas the fact of the matter is we are different from this. What are we? We are the Atma. That is because that is only Satya. Everything else is Mithya. Changing, disappearing, coming, going. What is the only eternal thing? Atma. That remains. And at this time you can also think like this, that the change from the Panch Mahabhut to this body is also not the change like milk to curd. The curd you cannot restore to milk or to ghee. Once you take out butter or ghee, you can't make milk of it. Therefore, this change from the Panch Mahabhut to the body is very superficial. It is going back to the 5 Panch Mahabhut. So it's just in a very enlightened sphere of Vedanta, it is an illusion. It is not there, but it's an illusion. This etat, the body, like every other object, can be indicated as this. I, the knower of this, am different from it. That is a very important statement which we must always stay with. Whoever knows something is not that thing. But what do? We say, I am this body, I am this mind, I am this intellect. So, born as a result of actions, Sat Karma Janyam, this body is the result of actions done in the past. The human birth is the best in the entire creation. In this birth, we have the choice to evolve or devolve. We are endowed with a subtle intellect that can discriminate between right and wrong, real and unreal, and attain the supreme truth. Human birth is surely the result of good actions done in the past. Knowing its rarity and uniqueness, we should not waste this precious birth, but achieve the purpose for which we gained this body. This paragraph, if possible, you must remind yourself every day why we gained this body. We should not waste this precious birth, but achieve the purpose for which we gained this body. Remind yourself every day. काउंटर ऑफ एक्सपीरियंसेस, भोग आयतनम था ना उसमें, सुख दुख आदि भोग आयतनम. इन अ शॉप all transactions take place at the counter. When the counter closes, all transactions, the incoming and outgoing, are stopped. Similarly, this body is a counter through which we reap our experiences of joy and sorrow. These transactions temporarily cease when we sleep and permanently at death. This body is also compared to a city with 9 gates, Nav Dwar Pura. Just as traffic passes through the gates, the transactions of life happen through the 9 orifices of the body. For example, we eat through the mouth and so on. We eat through the mouth, we hear through the ears, we smell through the nose and so on. 6 modification, Shad is 6. Shad Vikarvat. The body undergoes 6 modifications. Number 1 is existence, Asti. The mother experiences changes within, and the doctor confirms the presence of fetus in the mother's womb. So, it exists. Is born, Jayate. Jayate means is born. After 9 months, the child emerges from the mother's womb to experience the outer world. Grows, Vardhate. Within brackets are the Sanskrit words. Nourished by food, the body grows. Matures, viparina, viparinamate. It attains adolescence, matures, and in due course of time attains its peak physical vitality. Decays, apakshiyate. Then slowly the limbs weaken, the hair greys, the skin loosens, and the energy ebbs away. Dies, vinashyati. Finally, it disintegrates to totally merge with its constituent elements. We call this death. I, the pure self, am a witness to all the modifications of the body. I am neither born nor do I die with the body. Only out of false identification do I say I am dying, I am fat, and so on. I need not neglect the body because of knowledge that I am different from the body. It is a vehicle that we use to transact with the world and is meant for performing good actions. Shariram adyam khalu dharma sadhanam. This is a Sanskrit phrase. It is the temple which houses the pure self, deho devalya proktaha. It should therefore be kept clean and fit for use. We need not get too attached to it or falsely identified with it. So we have seen this. I'll read the verse again. Sthula shariram kim. What is the gross body? I am reading it again with the purpose that when I read, if there are any questions, you can ask me. Panchikrit panch mahabhutai kritam. It is created, kritam, out of the panchikaran of panch mahabhuta. We have read what are the panch mahabhuta: space, air, fire, water, earth, and a process called panchikrit or grossification, which we will study later, creates this sthula body. Sat karm janyam. Also responsible for this body is our good actions of the past. So there are two components to creation. One is a material cause, which in Sanskrit is called upadan karan. You can write down if you want to. Upadan karan is the material cause. So here the upadan karan are the panch mahabhut. And then we have got what is called nimitta karan, or the efficient cause. And here that nimitta karan is sat karma janyam. The cause of its birth is a sat karma. So sat karma becomes the nimitta karan. And then what is it? Sukh, dukh, adi, bhog, ayatanam, shariram. This sharir is a counter or an abode for enjoying the sukh and dukh, or experiencing the sukh and dukh. This is this body. And this body has shad vikar. What are the shad vikar? Asti, jayate, vardate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, vinashyati. This is the gross body, sthul sharira. Right? Any questions? So having studied the sthul sharir and having realized that though we experience it, but it is given to us because of our good deeds of the past, and it has a purpose. That purpose is to know ourselves. How will we know ourselves? Through this body. These joys and sorrows that we experience are also due to the past karma. But we should not get entangled in them. We have studied while doing Bhaj Govindam that we have to live with the philosophy of Karma Yoga, where everything we do is offered to God and what we get is received as His prasadi. So there is no sukh or dukh, it's a happening. So there is no terrible dust storm. It's a dust storm. It's cold. It's not chilling cold or it's not biting cold. It's cold. So we can distance ourselves from the creation aspect and stay only to the perception aspect. That helps us to utilize the body for knowing the one that is seeing everything. That is our Atma. Otherwise, we will be lost in the joys and sorrows of the world. Done. Okay, so now we come to the subtle body. This is 18th verse, page 42 in my book. Sukshma shariram kim apanchikrit panch mahabhutehi kritam सत कर्म जन्यम सुख दुखादि भोग साधनम पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पंच कर्मेन्द्रियाणि पंच प्राणादयः मनश्चैकम बुद्धिश्चैका एवं सप्तदश कलाभिः सह यत्तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्म शरीरम. So what does it mean? What is the subtle body? Sukshma Shariram. That which is composed of the 5 great elements, which have not undergone grossification. Grossification was Panchikrit. So if it does not undergo grossification, it is Apanchikrit. So the word uses Apanchikrit Panch Mahabhutai Kritam. It is created from the Panch Mahabhut, but which have not undergone grossification. Born of the good actions of the past, Sat Karm Janyam, the instrument for the experience of joy, sorrow and so on. So earlier we had said the counter for experience of joys and sorrows. Sukh Dukh Bhog Ayatanam. Now we are saying the instrument for the experience of joy and sorrow, Sukh Dukh Adi Bhog Sadhanam. Yeah, Anuji, what are you saying?
His mic needs to be muted. It's creating a little disturbance.
ठीक है, हो गया. Okay, thanks Anil ji. Okay, so we were reading Sukh Dukh Adi Bhog Sadhanam. It is the instrument for the experience of joy, sorrow and so on. Then it is constituted of 17 items. Sapt Dasha Kalabhihi. Sapt 7, Dasha is 10. So Sapt Dash Kalabhihi constituted of 17 items, the 5 sense organs, the 5 organs of action, the 5 pranas, the mind and the intellect is the subtle body. So now Bhagvan Adi Sankrachharya has introduced so many concepts again, and he will discuss one by one. So what was the Tattva Vivek Prakaram? This was the Prakaram. He will talk of one thing in terms of certain other and then tell us what those things are. And that is why this is also called the book of definitions. When we are studying Vedanta, these things are taken for granted. You know all this. So when the term comes, Panchikrit, Panch Mahabhut, nobody is going to explain Panchikrit to you. That you are supposed to have understood, you are supposed to know from Tattvabodha. So let's read this definition again. Sukshma Shariram Kim Apanchikrit Panch Mahabhutai Kritam, formed from non-grossified portion of Panch Mahabhut, Sat Karm Janyam, is born as a result of our good deeds. So what is the Upadan Karam here? We did it just now. What is the Upadan Karam? The material cause.
Material cause.
What is the material cause? In the case of Sthul Sharir, the material cause was the grossified Panch Mahabhut. Out here, what is the material cause?
Apanchikrit, utterly five elements.
Yeah. So here the material cause is Apanchikrit Panch Mahabhut. One has to be now very alert, because otherwise any number of readings will not make us present to these concepts. So in the same way, what is the efficient cause?
Satsang.
Yeah, good. So the efficient cause remains the same. It is the Sat Karm Janya. Sukh Dukh Adi Bhog Sadhanam. So whereas earlier one, the body was the counter for enjoying, now it is an instrument for enjoying, experiencing the joys and sorrows. So the functions are different. One is a house of joys and sorrows, or a counter of joys and sorrows. The other is an instrument of joys and sorrows. Then the constituents, what are the in the gross body, it displayed 6 modifications. It exists, it grows, etc., etc., and dies. Now subtle body, it has got 17 components. They have been enumerated, and we will discuss in detail subsequently. That which has all this is our subtle body. Any questions? Ira, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
here. Just on the road side.
Yeah, any questions, Ira?
I listened to you. No, I think I'm good.
Okay, read it yourself as well. I'll be sending the video, listen to it again
Yes,
if need be.
yes.
If you ask me questions, I'll feel that you are getting the hang of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to absorb the second part a little more.
Yeah, I know. You need to absorb everything. So slowly, if you put in some effort, I'm sure you'll be able to get everything. So
Yes,
I'm going to
sure. Thank you.
say the concluding prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. May God's blessings be with us, and may we reach our destination. Hari Om.